do an insight video again today. Like I keep saying, a lot of the stuff I've been having is around like soul qualities, the integration of the higher self, the oneness vibration, the eternal self, the eternal moment, all these kind of sayings or sort of like spiritual wisdom. They're all spiritual wisdom. Again, this is what a lot of the things that the spirit talk about, or like guides or angels talk about, um, well, beings talk about, which are spiritual beings of light and energy that are working with us around consciousness and shifting the consciousness, shifting of reality on this plane of existence. And they're here once again to remind us about our own soul vibration, our own soul frequency, and how we start to shift and change our reality and start to move into this. I've had a few things over the weekend related to things like oneness vibration and the eternal moment, source energy. And again, it's sort of I think with spiritual journeys we get very much caught up in sort of like trying to integrate one aspect of self, or trying to integrate one aspect of being. And when I see myself, it's like that. Lately, I've been talking about integrating the higher self with the soul self, and the soul vibration, the soul frequency. And on Saturday, I was sitting there and was thinking about it, and I was thinking about sort of like these beings that I've had lately, like where I've had this being dressed in yellow step forward, and another being step forward, and then I was thinking about sort of like oneness, and I was talking about the oneness vibration. I was thinking about light, energy, frequency. When I mean I was thinking about it, I was in the moment. The vibration was coming through, and I think on spiritual journeys sometimes we get caught up as there's only being one way to get there, or we get caught up in trying to look at how we integrate that. Like for me, sort of, I've been talking about like integrating the higher self and the soul self, and then I've been sort of like looking at sort of the vibration of the soul, and then trying to integrate the higher self and the soul self together. And what they were trying to say to me over the weekend, and what was coming through, was the oneness vibration is all things. So there's many different ways to it, and there's many different ways of accessing it. And I was thinking, about the higher self and like the soul self, and how they integrate in perfect union and harmony. And I was also trying to sort of like use different practices and different ways of approaching it. And what they were really trying to say to me is, it's all the same vibration. Everything's the same vibration. There's many different ways of accessing it, and everything is part of that oneness vibration. And what I mean by that is, so in my consciousness, I was thinking about integrating the higher self and the union of the soul self, and bringing it together. And then I would shift into my vibration, my frequency, and then I'd feel light. And then I was thinking, like, at one stage, my human self was thinking all three of these things were different processes, but were separate. And what the spirit, or what the entities or the beings were trying to say to me is, they're all part of the same process. They're all part of the oneness vibration. So what they were saying is, when I'm in myself and I feel that light vibration of like the energy and light. So what I mean by the light vibration is, like, in my energy or my physical body, although it's the energetic body that's actually vibrating, I'm in my physical body and I can feel light, energy, warmth, and I feel like I'm vibrating as this spiritual vibration and energy. And when I I'm in that vibration, that is still part of the oneness vibration, as is the integration of the higher self is still part of the oneness vibration, as is the soul self. It's all part of the one vibration. So what they're saying is, many of us get caught up in trying to look at different ways of accessing into the oneness vibration, or the eternal moment, or the higher self, when they're all part of the same vibration. They're part of oneness. They're part of the one vibration of the union of all things, the vibration of all things. There isn't anything separate. Again, it's like a teaching, or it's wisdom to say that there isn't anything separate. They all work in perfect union and harmony, but they're all an expression of the oneness vibration of the source light in creation. So again, it's sort of like also moving into like being. Being is the process of vibrating in energy and spirit, in sort of like vibration and frequency, and it's the energy, it's the light that we vibrate in. And being is can be expressed again in many different forms, in many different ways. And it's trying to say this is part of the shift of consciousness. The shift of consciousness that's happening at the moment, and the oneness vibration is telling us all things are part of creation, all things are part of source light and energy, and part of the eternal moment, and part of the oneness vibration. So it's also saying that many of us, although we may not always be conscious of it, are existing and vibrating that vibration at the moment. And there's many different aspects to it, and this is what makes it infinite, and this is what makes it this infinite vibration, the eternal moment, the eternal self, the higher self, the soul self. All of it is vibrating in this oneness vibration, and this oneness vibration holds all vibrations and all frequencies in all dimensions and all realities and in all realms, or however you want to really define it. But this is the thing again, is we're trying to define something that is infinite, and it's not defined in human terms or human understanding. It's a vibration that all beings are born of and created by and exist in, and always connected to, and never separate. So in that sense, even like people believe sort of like when they have moments in their life that they feel they're disconnected, or maybe they're a little bit lost, that vibration, you're still in it, you're still in that frequency, you're still in that vibration. So these are the kind of things that are going on through my own development at the moment, and it's very much around just remaining in that. And over the weekend I was trying to integrate within this eternal moment. So like when I was on the treadmill, I was doing a bit of running, and when I do that, I try and keep related to like the eternal moment, or the eternal moment where you're just in vibration and frequency. And that in the weekend I was running I did about 20 minutes, and I managed to be pretty sort of in that moment for 20 minutes, which is quite a big period of time. And this is another sort of like aspect that I'm trying to develop at the moment, is trying to be in that harmony, in that union with that eternal moment where vibration and frequency, and you're very much connected into it, and you're not really sort of like thinking about the external world, and you're not thinking about time, you're not thinking about what's coming tomorrow, you're not thinking about all those kind of things that are going on. And again, in like with the masters, the teachers, the guides, the beings are always trying to tell you this, that in the eternal moment there is a moment of creation that that can be shifted, or you can dissolve, you can remove anything in that moment. This is sort of like, this is the oneness vibration that we're all part of, we're all got access to. And it's very much sort of like this time is about this, but the consciousness shift is very much about coming into oneness and understanding that we're all connected. And as we become all connected, and again, when I was talking about being in this inner light, when you're in that vibration, you're already open. You're opening up because you're in that soul vibration, that soul frequency. Then you're open to your higher self consciousness, and then the higher self opens up and allows the infinite beings of consciousness and wisdom and light to then to connect with them, become an open channel, and then you start to receive the insights, the consciousness that's needed for this age, which is part of the soul vibration. Each of our soul vibrations are awakening to bring the consciousness that's needed for this age, this reality. Again, this morning I was sitting there and I was just looking at the sort of like the wall, and I saw this beautiful like crystal sort of like pyramid, and it wasn't like teal, but it was like this shimmering sort of like it's like a crystal, like a shimmering sort of color. It's like, it's not teal, it's like turquoise, it's in between like turquoise and teal. It's got this beautiful color, and it's like a different vibration, it's a different frequency again. And this shows me with the portals of like the pyramid like higher awareness, higher consciousness is coming through for each and every one of us, and it's about us just starting to integrate and work with it and start to align with it and walk as that light, walk as that being of light, express it and be in the eternal moment, uh, and be in that light and energy, and you'll start to open up to your soul frequency. And once you open up to your key, the soul frequency, then you'll start to express soul qualities. And then when you start to express soul qualities, you start to connect and integrate with the higher self. Then the higher self then starts to attract um, those opportunities within your vibration, your frequency, because your soul and your higher self work in perfect union. They are perfectly unified. They have a perfect relationship. And the soul vibration, once you enter into it and you access your and become aware of your soul vibration, the higher self then starts to integrate and become in perfect union. You become a perfect open channel to start to receive the flow of vibration and frequency. And you attract the opportunities or the experiences or the vibrations that are needed for these soul qualities to start to express themselves. And then you'll create the reality, and you'll create the frequency and the vibration that's needed within your reality, within your life, within your sort of journey, to then start to help to activate the collective consciousness that's needed on the planet, but also within your own reality. And this is the purpose of each and every being, is to access and become in union with your soul qualities, your soul expression, your soul vibration, and then to integrate the higher self. And when you start to do that, when you start to integrate with your higher self, then you open up to that like I said, that oneness vibration, that oneness frequency again, where you become an open channel to start to receive the insights from the infinite beings and the infinite oneness vibration and frequency of the infinite beings of light and energy that are bringing wisdom and understanding to this age, which is all that's needed. Each and every one of us, as we start to shift into those soul qualities, we bring a new vibration for ourselves, but a new vibration for the planet, and a new vibration, a new frequency, and a new consciousness to the planet. And this is how the spiritual age, this spiritual age of will shift. It's like a shifting. And once we start to do that, we start to realize that as energy and light, we have the ability to create, shift, change, anything. But being in that light, you also are opening up your soul up to receive those higher frequencies, those higher vibrations. And again, this comes through the medium of your higher self. And this is why it's important to integrate the both, because when you start to do that, you start to become this open channel where you can receive insights and awareness and consciousness and wisdom that you can apply to your life in a more spiritual way. And then what you start to do is create a spiritual reality. So you create a different reality on this different frequency, this different vibration, this oneness vibration, and then you access the eternal self, because you're always connected then. The eternal self is about being always connected to the oneness vibration of source energy, light and creation. And this is what this time's about, and this is what this shift in vibration and frequency is about. And this is the shift of like the new consciousness for this new age. That's the insight video for today.